Hello, children. Today we are going to start our new chapter. Chapter 8. How do organisms reproduce? Define reproduction. Reproduction is the fundamental characteristics feature of all living organism by which a new individual of the same species is produced from the parent. Reproduction maintains the population of a species and prevents extinction. Organisms belonging to the same species look similar. Organisms survives to a limited lifespan. Then it gets older and dies. Once the organism dies, then it becomes extinct. The period from birth to the natural death of an organism is called its lifespan. Hence, every organism reproduces its individual or group by a process called reproduction to continue and maintain its species on the earth. Through the process of reproduction, every individual organism called parent produces offspring individual or daughter individual. When parent dies, the offspring or daughter will be surviving on the earth. Again, the daughter produces an offspring and becomes parent. When again parent dies, its offspring will be surviving on the earth. The same process happens in cats, plants, etc. How can we say that two individual organisms belong to same species? Look at this picture. Here three different species of organisms are there. Generally we say as if both organisms look similar in their body design, then they belongs to same species. Here fishes are different from hen. They two are from different species. But fishes will be same body design with other fishes. So fishes, hen, human being are the different species because they have different body structure. The body design of a puppy is similar to dogs, while the body design of the kitten is similar to cat. How is this possible? Do you remember about chromosomes that are present in the nucleus of the cell? Here the blue color bigger one is the cell. A cell contains nucleus. Nucleus contains chromosome and the chromosome contain genes. These genes are the hereditary factor of organism. As we learned in class 9, the chromosomes in the nucleus of a cell contain genes, which are the information source for transferring characters from parents to offsprings. Look at this flowchart. Here, both the parents, both father and mother, are contributing chromosomes to the offsprings through the gametes. Half of the chromosome they have contributed. We are made up of over 3 billion cells that we cannot see, and each cell has a job. Chromosomes present in the nucleus are thin thread-like structures composed of DNA. DNA stands for deoxyribonucleic acid. Do you remember amino acid? The smallest unit of protein. It is the building block of life. These proteins create cells. These cells then forms tissues. And tissues aggregate to form organ, then organs together organ system, and finally living organisms like us. But how does each cell know what to do? That's where DNA comes in, like a boss. It instructs the cell what to do. In other words, it is a blueprint for our body. It determines all the characteristics of a living organism. Basically, our DNA is what makes you and me just the way we are. The DNA in the cell nucleus is the information source for making protein. If the information is changed, different proteins will be made. Different proteins will eventually lead to altered body design. The basic event in reproduction is creation of a DNA copy. To build a copy of DNA, the cell uses chemical reactions. The chemical reaction creates two copies of DNA with cellular organelles. Then the DNA copy separates, each with its own cellular apparatus. The two copies of DNA generated are similar but not identical to the original, and the two copies of DNA have variations between them. It is the structure of DNA, which is like a beautiful ladder. To build a copy of DNA, the cell uses chemical reactions. The chemical reactions creates two copies of DNA with cellular organelles. Look at this picture. Here the DNA is creating two copies of DNA. Then the DNA copy separates and the two copies of DNA generated are similar but not identical to the original. There will be small variations. The newly formed DNA having so many similar characters from the parent DNA, but it will not be completely similar. It will be having some variations from the parent. How does the variations are important in DNA? Organisms on earth have different body design depending on particular type of environment. The changes in the environment are beyond the control of organism. The temperature on earth can increase or decrease. Water level may be able to go up or down. For example, penguins live in cold weather. If the temperature increases due to global warming, most of the penguins cannot survive. Let us consider another example. This population of bacteria. Now, some of these bacteria shown in red have variation that they are resistant to heat. If suppose the temperature increases due to global warming, then these bacteria having the variations will survive, while the others will die. Look at the second circle, only the variant bacteria are survived. Hence, the variations in the organism would increase the chance to survive on earth. These genetic variations are the basis of evolution.